closed sessions on Mondays. Does that suggest you have a fair bit to work on?
No, it's
changing?
pretty standard with tactical skills day. We always have a closed session, so that was the same again today. So we always tend to have them closed.
Is it a case that this is not your average Monday coming off the bye?
No, not at all. Same as usual, but as I said, it's tac skills day and we normally have them closed, so same again today, nothing different.
How's the bye been? Good thing for the club, you think?
Yeah, it's been good. It probably come at the right time. Had a chance to get away and refresh and get get a few injuries right and that sort of thing. So boys are freshening up now. Looking forward to this week.
What did you do? How did you switch off from footy world?
I went fishing in Moonta with a few boys, which was fun, and got some nice whiting and cooked that up and ate it, and then headed back home to Melbourne on the weekend, which is good to catch up with family and that too. So had a good time and refreshed, and looking forward to the last 10 games and hopefully see what happens after that.
Which I think it'd be fair to say there would have to have been a pretty serious review of the first half of the year. What's come out of that for what you need to do in the second half?
Oh, we think we're playing some good footy, offensively, but probably our defensive side of the game we need to improve a bit, and hopefully this week you'll see a lot more pressure on the ball carrier and some stronger tackles, and we'll tidy up on that side of our game.
You changing anything up?
No, there won't be too much changed. I think tinker a few little things, but you'll see that on the weekend. But nothing too major. But as I said, we'll work on our pressure. I think if you look at games on the weekend, teams they're in the top 4 are the best at pressuring the opposition when they've got the ball. So we need to improve that part of our game, and if we can do that, that's going to hold us in good stead.
So the coaches would have done their work over the break. What did the players think needed to be
done? We've probably got too many guys out of form, and especially our better players. So that's on our leaders to change that, and find a way to get back into form and drag a few guys along as well. So we feel if we can play our best footy, we're still good enough.
It's a long-standing question through the first half of the year. We all thought you'd be a very hungry group after that preliminary final loss. Is there a reason why that hasn't translated on the field?
No, I guess there's probably a number of reasons, and that's up to everyone to decide on what they are. But we're working really hard to get back to where we want to be and where we feel we should be. So we feel this week's a really good opportunity to turn it around, and we're looking forward to the opportunity to head up north and play some good footy and go from there.
Personally, has this been your best season so
far? Yeah, I think so. It's probably been my most consistent and had most impact on games, and been able to have an influence, which has been nice. So just enjoying it and liking playing my role.
Better than your BNF year?
It's hard to compare. There's a couple of years back now, but I think the game's changed a bit from there, and I'm playing a different role again. So who knows?
What motivated you this year?
I guess probably you get to 26, which I'm now, and you realise footy's not around forever, and you want to try and reach your potential and what you think where you can get to. And I sort of worked really hard over the summer, and a few guys went past me in the midfield last year, and I just wanted to try and get back to a level where I thought I could definitely be, and I feel I'm getting somewhere near that now, and hopefully I can improve again in the second half of the year.
That sort of realisation, can you impress that on teammates? Like, you see some 21-year-olds and that around, can you sort of hurry that up for them, or do you just have to wait until you come across that yourself and the penny drops?
Oh, I mean, some guys get it straight away, like Paddy Dangerfield just gets AFL footy and understands the way he plays and the way he goes about it, and some blokes take a bit longer, and for me probably took a bit longer than I would have liked, but now you know what makes you play well, and you just rock up each week and you believe that you're going to play well, so it's a good feeling. But as I said, some guys have got it and some guys it takes a bit longer.
With some young guys, can it be almost that they put too much pressure on footy and don't realise it's just one part of their life?
Oh, it can be, yeah. When you want something desperate enough, you tend to put a lot of focus on it, but what's healthy is having a good balance in your life, and that certainly has helped me this year.
Richard, when you say redefined role, how's it been redefined?
I suppose I spent more time in the midfield this year, and also out on a wing and forward a bit, but I think the way we just structure up around the ball was probably suited me, and being able to run out games with my increased fitness levels has certainly helped. I think the game's become quicker, which has suited me as well, so there are probably a couple of reasons.
So where do you think you've improved this year?
Obviously my possession count is higher, and probably been able to get on the end of a few chains a bit more, and probably execute a bit better as well. I think my efficiency's up a bit, so just a bit more polish, I think, has helped.
So what else are you working on? What do you think you need to keep progressing, keep improving, self personally, individually?
I think just get more and more of the ball would be nice, and just to do more in games for longer. Still probably having little bits of lulls in games, which you try and eradicate, but I think too just probably kicking a few more goals and setting them up, and probably pushing into defence a bit more and helping out the backs.
So how do you think the Adelaide midfield's changed this year?
Personnel-wise, it hasn't changed too much. I think we've been scouted a lot more from the opposition, and I think we're number one in a lot of indicators last year, and teams have looked at us and certainly tried to do what we do. And as I said, when they scouted, they've stopped us in a number of areas. So we need to go away and look at that and try and now learn off other teams that are doing it really well. So over the break we've watched a bit of footy, and there's things that we can do now to match it with the best.
Is that the issue? Why it isn't the imposing midfield that it was built up to be at the start of the year?
Yeah, we've lost our title as probably the best contested ball team in the comp, and no longer the number one stoppage team as well. So it was nice to be labelled as that last year, but obviously it didn't come easily. It came with a lot of hard work, so we want to try and get back to that level.
You had a bit of a look at Gold Coast. What do they do?
Oh, they're exciting. They've got a lot of young kids and they're fast. They move the ball really well, so if you give them a chance, they can really run you off your legs. So we need to go up there and start really well, which we have against them in the past. And obviously Adelaide, if you can stop him, it's going to go a long way to winning. But as I said, start well and put them under pressure, because I still think if you put them under pressure, they can be vulnerable with the ball.
Richard, how much do you enjoy September?
I love it. Last year was the best experience for us, but that's why you play footy, I guess, and we want to get there, and we still think we can get there. So hopefully this week's a start for us.
Does that drive you for the second half of the year, where some people might say it's better to start thinking about already 2014?
Oh, it does. There's no point worrying about next year. We're still within, we've got a chance to play finals, so why would you be worrying about next year? We've got to win 7 of the next 10, so we believe it's a chance. We just need to start playing a lot better, and it starts this week, as I said.
Is the optimism still there at the club? Positivity?
Yeah, it is, no doubt. We've got big Texie Walker getting up the boys today and having some jokes and having a good time. So, it's absolutely, we still think we're good enough, but we need to change a few things, and we've shown we pushed some good sides this year, and we've also lost some games we should have won. So the first half of the year's gone, and we just need to worry about the next 10 games now.
Do you have a mid-season review? How does that work? Do you look at the whole games as a group, or do you go off and have individual sort of status of how you're going?
We've probably not. We haven't watched too many games back. We've had a bit of a review that went for about an hour. We just found a few areas that we can improve on. It was pretty positive, We put them games behind us now and start fresh. So the season for us starts now.
How does Sando handle that? Does he fire up a bit in that review, or is it more?
Nah, not at all. It's all constructive. I mean, what's been done is done, and we're all on the same page. Coaches and players, we're all working together to play some good footy and get back to where we believe we can be. So hopefully this week you'll see a really good step forward for us.
What sort of things can you do to curb Adelaide this weekend? Do you rotate guys on him, or the skipper get a run with the job?
I guess if we've got the footy, he doesn't. So if our midfield can get on top, it's going to make it hard for him. In the last probably 4 or 5 weeks, we haven't tagged individuals as such, and I think that's worked quite well. But in the end, if big sources winning the hit-outs and we're winning at ground level and getting it forward, it's going to be hard for Gary to play really well.
Richard, have you seen Sanjay? He's been pretty harsh in criticising himself for taking on too much responsibility. You have to live under his taps. What's it been like?
You probably notice individually it's not quite as as the quantity as last year, the number of taps, but he's working hard, and as you said, he's the first to put his hand up. His year hasn't matched last year, but he's not alone with a number of guys. So he's just one of the senior players I mentioned before that can improve, and if he does, it's going to help us going forward.
Are you one of these guys who believes that your career's defined in September? That's where players do make their name?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think so. Everyone remembers September. No one remembers what happens in round 1. So Yeah, that's for you guys to make that decision, and all the greats have won premierships and played well in September, haven't they?